Hello there, it's the Crypto Lunatic, the channel for crypto newbies, and today I'm going to take you on a journey of how to find low cap hidden gems before they pump. Now, the emphasis here is before they pump, because if you're looking to YouTube to find the next best coin, you'll find that most channels are only going to really start talking about these coins when they're pumping, or that where as soon as they start talking about them, if it's a big channel, they're already pumped and you've missed a great entry point. So this is more about educating you of how to look for yourself, how to find these for yourself. And I'm not invested in HiveMapper. They don't pay me to do this. This is a completely neutral review just to show you how I found it and to have a brief look into it to see if it's any good. So with that in mind, and this certainly isn't investment advice, follow me. So it all started one day when I was on Perplexity AI. Well, it was actually today. And I asked a question that what big upcoming events are likely to influence crypto and which cryptos stand to lose or benefit the most? Now, sentiment and hype in crypto is massive. That can certainly boost things. So big events, being aware of big events coming up, is really important in crypto. And they'll list all these big events. You can see here, there's a few focusing on Bitcoin, Ethereum, the stable coins. You would expect all of this. AI and blockchains like Fetch AI and Ocean Protocol, Sui, Solana, and Balkan-based projects get dedicated exposure at regional events. So it looks at the big names there. They're no surprise, and everybody's talking about them. So I asked the question, what are likely the biggest low cap winners? And it listed a few tokens. Now, I've done a review on Seller Network. I've done one on Alephium as well. Now, you see, HiveMapper was on this, but it wasn't until I got to this point. I said, of these low cap projects, please rate them in order of high growth potential this year. And as you see, right at the top of the map, with 145x, and I certainly wouldn't be reading too much into that. The score is high. It's high. It's not even percentage. It's just high. HiveMapper is number one. So that's why we're looking at this today. So that's how I found it. And these are the sort of things you can do with AI to get to know these projects. So we go straight to ChatGPT and I say, please explain HiveMapper crypto and its investment case to a child. Now, this is a good exercise to do. Ask ChatGPT to explain it to a child, because a lot of language in crypto is like gobbledygook, and this just cuts through to the chase. So, what is HiveMapper? Imagine a big treasure map of the world like Google Maps that helps people know where roads, buildings, and stores are. Normally, big companies pay a lot of money to keep those maps updated. HiveMapper is trying to make a map like that, but instead of a big company doing all the work, regular people help build it using special cameras on their cars, bikes, and even drones. When they help adding new roads or updating old ones, they earn special tokens called Honey, and that's the crypto part. So you or I can drive around with a camera and earn tokens, updating your section of road or your area of roads on HiveMapper, and that's how it works. How do people help? So let's say your mum or dad drives to work every day. If they have a HiveMapper camera, it sees the road and sends updates to the map. That way, if a new road is built or a construction changes something, the map stays fresh. For that, they get honey tokens. And they might want to invest because people believe that more people will want to help build the map and earn tokens. Companies and apps might pay to use HiveMapper's fresh and detailed maps. As the maps get better, the honey token might become more valuable, and it's cheaper and faster than how companies like Google build maps today. So someone might buy honey tokens now, hoping that they'll be worth more later, kind of like collecting Pokemon cards and hoping they'll be rare someday. So HiveMapper is like a giant treasure map. made by people driving around with special cameras instead of a big company doing everything. Everyone helps out and gets little coin rewards called honey. If the map gets super good, more people will want to use it and the coins will be worth more. So there you go. There's HiveMapper. And then I asked, is there measurable traction? So as of early 2025, HiveMapper users have mapped over 104 million kilometers globally, with approximately 7 million unique kilometers mapped. Active contributors, the network boasts nearly 35,000 active contributors, with over 24,000 active contributors reported in late 2023. These contributors use dash cams to capture and upload mapping data. The Honey token has experienced volatility, and with its price reaching a high of 43 cents in December 22, before dropping to around 8 cents in July 24. The circulating supply is approximately 1.9 billion Honey tokens. So while some contributors report earning between $45 and $60 a week for driving 1,000 kilometers, others express concerns about diminishing rewards and long-term value of the Honey token. Critics argue that as more participants join in, the rewards per contributor decrease, potentially making it less financially viable. So the conclusion is HiveMapper has demonstrated significant growth in mapping coverage and contributor engagement. However, the project's long-term success may depend on its ability to maintain the token value and ensure sustainable rewards for contributors. Potential investors and participants should consider these factors when evaluating involvement in the HiveMapper ecosystem. So they have got traction. There's people using it and mapping, and they've done quite a lot of mapping. So let's go to the chart and let's look at this now. So when it first started trading, this was back in May 2022. It was at 13 cents. So since then, it's gone down, it's gone up here, had a little peak there in January 24, went up to 24 cents. And since it's gone down a bit, it's gone up a bit. That was December 2024. And now it's gone down quite a lot. So as we'll cover later, and we can see, well, no, we'll cover it right now. We see that the circulating supply is a fraction of the total supply. And we see that only 43% of the tokens are in circulation. Now, that's not great, but the price is so suppressed at the moment, the odds of vesting and price dumpage are low because there's unlikely many profits, if any profits, to take at this level. This is a very suppressed level and potentially a good entry point. So this is why we like this. We see it's also on Coinbase, which is a good thing for a coin of a tiny market cap. Now, 115 million is a small enough market cap for it to be interesting and have big potential gains, but it's well above the degen space. So it's past the super high risk. It's just high risk. And because of the token supply and the full supply, the circulating supply versus total supply, the fully diluted valuation, and that's the valuation if all the tokens were launched onto the market, would be 263 million, which is still pretty small. So a bit of news there. You can see the vesting schedule here. And that's worth tracking. That tells you when the tokens are going to be unlocked. Whenever there's an unlock, you can expect a price pullback as investors take profits. But I'm going to guess that no one's going to be taking profits at this level because there probably isn't any profit to take. So I would say this is potentially a very good entry level. So I went on to Grok because sentiment is anything, and I put how much sentiment and potential growth does HiveMapper have? Now it actually goes into a lot of detail here. So I'm just going to scroll down slowly and to tell you that it says that there's a reasonable amount. So it tells you that there's utility, it tells you there's decent tokenomics and adoption metrics. So here's something, revenue generated. We like to see stuff like this. So HiveMapper reported significant revenue growth in 2024 with a 796% increase and 141,000 in US dollars burned through Honey tokens, reflecting a high demand for map data. The protocol's revenue model is tied to token burns. Now, token burns are when they get rid of tokens to increase the price, so it becomes more valuable. There becomes fewer tokens on the market and makes it more valuable for each token. So, for example, on December 2024, a report noted 4.3 million annual run rate based on weekly burns. The revenue stream combined with a circulating supply of 4.32 billion honey, 43% of the max supply, supports a sustainable economic model if demand persists. So compared to other sub $200 million projects like Axie Infinity and API 3, HiveMapper's revenue is modest, but growing rapidly, driven by real-world use cases rather than speculative trading. So here's some price predictions. So between 4 and 10 cents here, between 10 cents and 14 cents here, a high of 32 cents and 6 cents, a range between 4 and 12, and an outlier prediction of, I don't know where they get this from, $37 average and $45 peak, likely unrealistic given current market cap. So the consensus range, most analysts predict the honey reaching between 6 and 15 cents by the year end. A 2 to 5% increase from the current 2 cents, driven by adoption and token burns. So long-term forecasts range from 19 cents to 90 cents. So there you go. I mean, it looks like something's going to be happening, and there's certainly going to be some gains to be had here. And there's certainly a lot more here. Let's go straight to the conclusion. So HiveMapper enjoys moderately bullish sentiment on X, driven by its innovative mapping model, enterprise partnerships and revenue growth. Social media buzz and technical indicators suggest a neutral to bullish outlook for 2025, with community excitement tempered by short-term volatility. Its growth potential is significant, with price forecasts between 6 cents and 15 cents by the end of the year, supported by token burns, enterprise adoption, and bullish crypto market. However, the risks like competition, adoption hurdles, and market fluctuations warrant caution. So there you go. Now, the next thing we do, we go on to the Soul Scan, the Explorer, to look at the tokens. We go to holders and we look at the wallets. Now, it's likely with this that this wallet is probably the wallet that allocates tokens to the people that are doing the driving. But I'm not certain because it doesn't state that. I would expect something like that. But without going into it, that's a reasonably high allocation in the top 10 wallets, which is generally not a great thing. But for a project like this, that's probably the case, certainly for the top wallet. But I would have to do a deeper dive in order to validate that. And since I'm not invested in it, I won't be deeper diving on it today because the price is so suppressed, regardless how many in these wallets. They're not going to be not likely to be cashing out at this stage in the game. So we go to their X account. We see there's 54,000 followers, and we see a moderately active account. This was posted yesterday. Not much activity, but there is activity. It's an active account. And we also see that they've been going to events or doing events. So this is probably where the sentiment came from. So by all means, have a look into that. So in conclusion, HiveMapper does look like an exciting project. Going up against Google Maps is no mean feat. They've certainly got some traction. They're bringing real-world utility and a practical solution to something that needs to be addressed. Whether it's going to take over or not, or whether Google are going to suddenly level up and go up against them and take their Google Map more seriously, who knows? That's always a risk. But this looks potentially like a great entry point, and risk reward, it seems like a reasonable ratio. So there you go, my friends. That's HiveMapper. And I am the Crypto Lunatic. And if you've enjoyed this content and want more, then please subscribe to the channel. And if you want another video, you will find it just there.